Let me try and simplify the mixture of problems that we're having it with our housing market right now. In order to understand the market or the economy around the housing market, you need to understand two different things: supply and demand. When you look at higher supply and low demand, then the price tends to go down. When you look at exact opposite, which is higher demand and low supply, then the price tends to go up. Now let's look at it from point of view of two different parties that are involved in a housing market: a seller and a buyer. When you look at it from point of view of a seller, you need to think about what decisions that they have to make along the way. One of them would be, if they decide to sell right now, then they have to buy again. Is it really a good idea to get into the market as a buyer right now or not? On top of that, they'll need to also think about if it's a good idea for them to financially do that or not, because it's not easy to qualify for a mortgage as a buyer, right? On top of that, when you look at it from point of view of a buyer, a lot of buyers are facing two different dilemmas. One of them is low inventory, lack of affordability. Other one is FOMO, which is fear of missing out. They're just feeling the stress of, if they're not getting into the market right now, then will they have any options in future? They're uncertain about it. Everyone is uncertain about that. So that's the problem that they're facing. When I look at what kind of market we are in right now, we're looking at two or three different markets at the same time, which is not very common. In order to understand it easily, I'll explain it from point of view of who has more power. If buyer has more power or the seller has. Power means options. When you see seller having more options, which means that what we have been seeing in last 2 or 3 years in certain price ranges, that if their seller is listing their property to sell, they're getting multiple offers, and they are the ones who has more options to decide from who they want to go with. Higher price offers if they want anything else. If you look at it, if the buyer has more power, which you can see it at the same time in certain price ranges, where if they're looking for a specific type of property in a specific price range, then how many options do they have? What kind of selections they have for them? So that's when you see a buyer market or a seller market at the same time. Why do you see two exact opposites? Because of the affordability and the budget. When you see the interest rates going up, that's when you have to think about how many people can afford the houses that are in the market, what type of budget that they can go with. And a lot of people are also deciding to downgrade from what they are owning right now, what they are paying for right now, because of how much the payments for specific kind of mortgages have gone up. So that's one of their concerns as well. If you were to think about if it is a good time for you to get into the market or not, you need to think about a few different things. If you are financially ready or mentally ready or not. If you are not, then you should talk to a professional like a realtor or a mortgage broker to clear out your doubts and see if it's a good idea for you to right now or not. If not, then plan with them and plan for future when you can do that. The faster you can do that, the easier it would be for you, because it's always your time in the market, not timing the market. You cannot time when the interest rates are going to go down, if they will ever go down, then what kind of competition you will be faced with. Just plan things accordingly, talk to a professional instead of figuring everything out on your own. Because when you go online, a couple of videos back, I made a video about what you are looking on social medias and why that doesn't apply to you most of the times. So go through that video. That will give you an insights on who you should talk to when you are having questions regarding housing market or any specific point of view. Lastly but not least, let's talk about solutions. When I think about what could be a possible solution for the problems we are facing right now, I think about two different things. One is affordability. If we keep on building more houses the same way we are doing right now, which are not very affordable. Any new houses that are being built, they are not in affordable price range, which is more than 650 to 700,000. Other thing could be density. Density basically means that when you go through city, any neighborhoods, and you see some neighborhoods has houses, lot of houses, some neighborhoods has 4 or 5 story buildings, some neighborhoods has 20-30 story buildings. That basically means that when city was planned, that's when they decided this neighborhood should have this amount of density, this amount of people can live there, and they build infrastructure accordingly. So if they try to increase their density right now, the infrastructure around that community is not able to support the amount of people that are going to live there. So none of the solutions are viable solutions. The only thing that I could think of is building houses in a factory, like same as we build cars, manufacture homes. There are companies around in states and some companies in Canada who builds prefab houses That could be a possible solutions, but we also need to look at if those houses can survive the amount of harsh weather that we're getting around the year or not.